Well, hello everyone and welcome to a brand new season of Racer TV and the 2010 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. Jason Wygant here and the best ATV racers in the world right in front of me, ready to do battle for 2 hours in the sands of Florida. It's the Parts Unlimited River Ranch GNCC. They're some of the toughest athletes you'll ever see, and we're about to get to the action right now.
So you have your new team this year. How does it feel being a team manager and a racer?
It's put a little bit more on the plate through the winter of putting all the deals together for 3 riders instead of 1, but all in all, it's made it better for me. I mean, I've got Taylor. We've been training a lot together all winter long, and it's a little harder putting deals together, but at the same time, I've got somebody to train with. We keep each other pushing real hard through the training and practicing. I think that it's gotten me more ready to start this season than I've ever been. So all in all, I think it's good, and just looking into the future, and after retiring this year, after this year's over, just doing the team management full time next year. So it's kind of breaking the ice for me a little bit and getting me used to it anyway.
All right, well, good. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with Can-Am's new rider, Adam McGill. All right, Adam, so you had a big change over the offseason, going from KTM to Can-Am. How do you feel going into today's race on the new Can-Am?
I feel really good. Yeah, it is a big jump, but I like the team a lot. The bike's working really well. This year we've done a lot of changes, got some new sponsors on board, end up picking up Moto Works. We're back on Douglas wheels. We're on ITP tires, so I mean, there's some new stuff. There's some old stuff carried over. Walsh is a new one. So I mean, it's definitely a lot better. So I'm excited. I mean, it was a big change in a sense, but it wasn't a big change. So I mean, I think we're ready to go.
All right, good. Okay, so last year your strategy was consistency. Are you going to change that up any this year?
I don't know. I mean, consistency worked well. I still ended up third. So I mean, I guess the go for it or the consistency thing is, I guess, equaled out to be the same.
All right, I'm here with Yamaha's Taylor Kaiser. Taylor, you got the win here at River Ranch last year. Do you think you have a big advantage over everybody being here from Florida?
Yeah, I'm able to spend all winter here riding, and it's really a huge advantage because, everybody's snowed in up north and not be able to ride, and I can stay here and pound laps all winter. I know a lot of the guys are here this winter riding, but, I feel like I have a little bit of a leg up on them because, I spend all my time here. All
right, good. So you switched over to balance racing this year. Did you make any big changes with the bike or anything?
The bike is really similar to what I rode last year. I'm on the new 2010 Yamaha YFZ 450X. It's a little different than the bike I used last year. It's fuel injected, got aluminum frame. We didn't make any huge changes to the program. The program is really similar to what we had last year, and everything's good. The bikes are hooked up. I mean, everything's ready to go.
All right, what about you? Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, we're here with ATV 2009 GNCC champion Chris Borch. Chris, you finally got the #1 plate last year. How does it feel to be the guy that everybody's looking to beat?
That feels pretty good. I mean, we worked hard last year, got a lot of wins, and just looking forward to this year. I know I got a big bullseye on my back, but I don't know. That's, I guess, what comes with being #1.
All right. Do you think you're ready? Have you been training any down here at all?
Yeah, I've been down here for probably 3.5 months and doing a lot of testing, training, and looking forward to the season. So hopefully get a good start and go from there.
All right, good. Well, guys, look for Chris Borch out there with the #1 plate.
All right, thanks, Krista, and welcome aboard as our new pit reporter for 2010. Let's give you the 101 for those of you not familiar with Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Racing. These are the best riders in the world at what they do, and they've got the best prepared equipment as well for racing 2 hours in the woods. You see the big trucks coming out, the works equipment, and it's an international feel as well, especially with our bike series, which runs on alternating race days. And the riders are in fantastic shape. Bouncing around in the sand here for 2 hours is going to take a lot out of them. So let's get down and get ready to go racing in 2010.
Unlimited River Ranch GNCC will be underway.
And it is underway. It looks like it's going to be Ackerman on the #7, leading the field through the first turn. That's your MotorcycleUSA.com Whole Shot Award. And I thank Ackerman for earning national #7 2 years in a row. That makes it easy to pick out the number. Got Kaiser right behind him on the #2. And another Yamaha there as well. That might be Balance. Bill Balance, #4. who's your 9-time series champ, trying to get the title back this year. Looks like Adam McGill is taking the lead as they go into the woods for the first time. McGill on the new Warner Can-Am. He was a KTM rider the last few seasons. There's the rider that replaced him on that team, Brian Cook, at the tail end of that train. But 2 hours of racing. There's going to be lots of passing opportunities out here. Don't even worry so much about the start. And McGill distancing himself from Kaiser just a bit. And Boric up to third. That is the only chink in the armor for Boric. Rarely gets the good starts on that Suzuki. He's been getting better and better each year on that machine, but he doesn't really worry about that. Boric is the kind of guy that will wait to the last lap and then put in a strong charge. Oh, and had to put in that charge to catch McGill. He is on fire early. Here's Kaiser. Look at how much trail has already been broken in down here in Florida. We race a youth race at 8 a.m. and then an amateur race at 10 a.m. and Boric has some fans out here in the woods of Florida cheering him on. So the track is already pretty beat up, and sand especially is going to change lap after lap. See how rough it is and how much these guys are getting just bashed around. Those bumps are only going to get bigger. Here's Boric putting in the challenge now to Kaiser. And we go back to balance. Number 4, it's hard to get used to. In 4th, then it's Ackerman, Chris Bithell, Jared McClure, and Brian Cook. All at the end of that freight train. I know it looks like McGill has put the hammer down early and is gone. But I cannot stress enough how long these races are. It is an endurance contest more than it is a sprint. And Kaiser, last year's winner, certainly aware of that. And the same thing for the champ, Boric. Looking good on the red and the yellow. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Back to the action here at Lake Wales River Ranch. Beautiful facility. Can't tell by the racetrack. They're just out here in the middle of the pine forest and in the fields duking it out. Adam McGill, the leader. There's Taylor Kaiser in second. Chris Boric in third. But the infield of this 12-mile racetrack, got a golf course, a zoo, a variety of restaurants, some hotels. Really a great place to kick off the tour, especially if you're Adam McGill. Now, this Warner Can-Am team has worked really hard the last 2 years to get this DS450 up to speed. And speed really hasn't been the issue any longer. They've just been snake-bit by very small mechanical gremlins. But for the moment, it looks like they've got that thing figured out. McGill is checked out. Kaiser in second, Boric in third. You kind of get the feeling as you see how slow those guys go through that mud. They are just biding their time. Here's Bill Balance in fourth on the number 4. And like I said, that's hard to get used to. Balance, 9 consecutive years the champ of this series. It was not until last season that he was finally overhauled by Boric. Year after year, Boric would fight and come up short. He finally turned the tables on the old champ. Now the question is, can Balance get back up with the leaders? It looks like he has. Look at this. He and Chris Bithell have caught the leaders. So the top 5 are wheel to wheel as we go through the pit road for the first time. And McGill gives the high sign, says all systems go. Doesn't need fuel, doesn't need goggles. And Boric is all over Kaiser as Bithell is all over Balance. All 4 riders together. Is Boric going to try to pass? No, you cannot pass on the outside of pit road. But there's no doubt Kaiser knows he's back there. And now it's all sorts of shaking up. It looks like they've caught McGill. Boric and Kaiser pushing each other within striking distance of the lead. Where's Balance? There he is. Now it looks like they pulled away a bit from Bithell. And as we head back toward the scoring section, looks like McGill is now pulled back away from that Kaiser and Boric battle. So he is riding this new Can-Am like it's mid-season form. Well done, young man. We'll be back to this in a moment, but let's highlight some of the other classes with our Rocky Mountain Spotlight.
Hi, I'm William Yoakley, National Guard Polaris Dragonfire UTV pilot. We're here at Union, South Carolina for round number 2 of the UTV series. But these races can get pretty tough sometimes, and I tell you, I wouldn't even come out here with without the proper equipment against all these rocks and the elements. And one of those is my Tusk Off-Road Quiet Glide skid plate for my UTV. The Tusk Off-Road Quiet Glide skid plate is made out of unbreakable UHMW. 3/8 and 1/2 inch versions glides over obstacles instead of getting hung up like aluminum. and it also has front to back and side to side coverage. It has countersunk hardware, much quieter than aluminum, extended gas tank protection, and it's made in the USA. You can find these Tusk off-road products on RockyMountainATVMC.com.
Well, thanks for that, William. Yoakley was actually one of the top ATV pilots for a long time, but 2009, his last season, he has now handed over the National Guard Polaris ride to Jared McClure, who is back, I believe, in the number 7 spot right now. And we told you this thing was going to be shaken up throughout the day. Chris Bittel has gone from 5th to 2nd. He's now in front of the Kaiser and Borch battle. So the Warner Can-Am team has done their homework in the offseason. They are 1st and 2nd on the track. And so far, no one has really been able to mount a serious challenge to McGill. Man, it just looks like he's on a trail ride by himself. But I guarantee you, down the stretch, it's not going to be that easy. And no one knows it better than Adam. He has been in these battles time and time again, so close to victory lane last year. And it seems like Borch will be able to sneak up late, time and time again. Here is Bittel. He's the one that was entrusted with dialing in that DS450 Can-Am the last couple of years. Looks like all that homework has paid off. They've got Borch now up to 3rd, Kaiser in 4th. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. The scene remains the same. Adam McGill, young man out of West Virginia, continues to lead the way, and his teammate Chris Bittel in 2nd. Warner Can-Am is dominating this race, but here comes the challenge from the champ on the Yoshimura Suzuki. Chris Borch in 3rd, and Taylor Kaiser on that factory Yamaha in 4th, and they have pulled away just a bit from Bill Balance, who's in the number 5 position. Nice job by McGill through this swampland. It's just getting deeper and deeper. You hear them running a very low RPM, just trying to pull a tall gear through here. See Bittel attacking it the same way. You do not want to spin your wheels through here. Very easy to get hung up. Those ruts are already pretty much skid plate deep. And easy to ground out on the rear sprocket or the rear disc and get hung up through there. So they're all just going to try to chill out. And remember, you've got to save some energy to ride for 2 hours in this type of terrain. But by the last lap, there's McGill still waiting for the challengers. When they get there in the last lap, though, then it's going to be full sprint time. That final kick to the finish. Nice job by Bittel. You've got to think that McGill joining that team has maybe pushed Bittel to step up his game as well. It's been a tough couple of seasons for him. He and McGill were outstanding stars of the Pro-Am class, and now that they have got a few years as pros under their belt, look at what they have done. They are challenging each other for the win. Kaiser has gotten back around Borch, so let's see, is it going to be the new guys with a big breakthrough season? Bittel and McGill, are they for real? Or is it 1 and 2 from last year, Kaiser and Borch, who are ultimately going to come out on top? And here is Balance back in 5th, hoping for some mistakes with those kids up front. Not happening so far. Still McGill, still Bittel, and then Kaiser and Borch. Now, both McGill and Bittel have won GNCCs before, but there's a little extra confidence that comes with being 1st and 2nd in this series last season, and let's see if that carries Kaiser and Borch in victory lane. We'll get back to this battle in a moment, but now it's time for highlights of our morning race. 2 hours on utility machines. These guys are not kidding around. Here's the U2 division. We've got Can-Am Renegades and Kawasaki KFX 700s digging it out there. It's kind of the hybrid class. You also got the women's class, and they often win the overall, yes, against the guys. There's Angel Atwell, who's your new women's class champ. We also got Tracy Checo on the factory Yamaha, Atwell on the KTM, Kristen Atwell also in the mix, as well as Lexi Coulter on a Can-Am. Cliff Beasley, who has moved from the lights utility class to the U2 class, was the leader early. And here's Atwell. Look at this pack in the women's class with Kristen Atwell, Lexi Coulter, Checo, and the rest of the riders trying to track her down. Kristen Atwell here in the 205 Yamaha. She's actually the niece of Angel Atwell. And here's your 4x4 limited class. Michael Swift, Ken Roby, Andrew Langston battling it out. And that's a cool class because these are basically showroom stock machines with just a few modifications, and then they go racing. Really impressive how far the utility machines have evolved through the years. Same thing with this women's class. It is competitive. And eventually, about halfway through this race, we get a nice mixture as the different classes begin to catch and then pass each other on time. Look at this, Lexi Coulter taking the lead from Angel Atwell in the women's class. And you got some of the utility riders staying right there in the hunt as well. Coulter is now a part of the Warner Can-Am factory team out of Texas. And joining the factory squad has really allowed her to step up her game. Did a great job in the Can-Am with some support last year. But now that she's part of the full squad, look at the damage she's doing, getting away from the stalwarts like the Atwells and Checo. And now Lexi Coulter in victory lane. What they've done to those DS 450s in the off-season, but they got them dialed in. They got a win in the morning, and will they get a win in the afternoon? Here comes the cavalry. Boric is now up to second and challenging McGill. This is what GNCC Racing is all about. Tremendous action, all four riders on the same piece of Florida real estate. McGill with the hammer down. Look at Boric trying to hop through some of these bumps, save some energy. Kaiser, you gotta like his strategy. He has just been waiting and waiting and waiting back there. When will he mount his charge? I think Boric has decided that it's go time. Biddle in third, that's Boric's good buddy, both out of Pennsylvania. They do ride and train together quite a bit. They've got to be comfortable back here stalking McGill. McGill now begins to pull back away. Not much elevation change down here in Florida. That's probably the biggest hill out here. Just wait until later in the season. We go to West Virginia and Pennsylvania, some other stops. Now we're through the pits, and the fans and the crews cheering their favorite riders on. You gotta like it, 3 different manufacturers represented. McGill threading the needle through the trees to lap traffic. Boric, Bindle, and Kaiser all right there. So now the track is rougher. They're into lap traffic, and also pit stops are going to have to be part of the strategy as well. So much to worry about here in the Grand National Cross Country Series. And why does McGill keep looking over his shoulder? I think it's pretty obvious. Last lap, this is when Boric likes to put in his charge. Can McGill hold him off? Can anyone stay with the champ? Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. The chase is on for the win here at the River Ranch, and Chris Boric is going to go to the inside, and I thought he had the pass made. Adam McGill has led this thing all the way down to this final lap, and now Boric putting the charge on him. Then it's Bithell, then it's Kaiser. They are duking it out for third and fourth. Tremendous amount of pressure being applied on the machine. The yellow here in the center of your screen, that's McGill. And the red right behind him, that's Boric going for the win. It's Bithell and Kaiser. Hard to keep track of all the lapped riders they're catching. Got a lot of different classes out here. Uh-oh, Boric has got the lead. So somewhere back there in those trees, he found a line and was able to make a pass on McGill. This is what we're wondering about McGill's strategy this year. The 2008 Adam McGill would have gone absolutely pedal to the metal, all out. As we see Kaiser up to third, McGill would have gone all out to catch Boric. Last year, McGill decided to focus on consistency, and if he was in a podium position, he was content to stay there. So let's see how he plays it. Will he try to get the champ back? Or will he just try to score some points here at the opener? And the people in Florida love Taylor Kaiser. They want to have him move forward. And it looks like Kaiser has actually taken second. Boric out front, going through the motions. He is much more comfortable, I believe, in this position than these other riders. He's won so many races. He's been through the wars before. Oh, look at McGill on the outside, still challenging Kaiser for second. And here's Bithell back there in fourth. They got the drop on him. He must have made a mistake at one point. On the last lap, you lose touch. You're not going to get back in touch with him. They're just putting the hammer down. Battle still raging. Looks like Kaiser has got the better of McGill. And we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. In fact, the checkered flag is coming out. A look over his shoulder. Chris Borich has got about 3 quad lengths over Kaiser, duking it out to the finish. Kaiser tries to go inside. Too little, too late, and Chris Borich wins the opener in Florida in a great race. And McGill solid in third. Let's go down to victory lane.
All right, Chris, so it seemed like you were kind of laying low in the beginning and you finally charged for the win. How does it feel?
It feels awesome. I mean, we got off to a good start, like a top 5 start, and just got pumped up there a little bit, being excited to be back into racing, and I don't know, just went from there. Everything started clicking. A couple people made mistakes and started fading a little bit, and I was able to come up through and did what I needed to do.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, you look at the results and you're saying, oh, Chris Borich, he's the champ. He's going to dominate this year. But if you watch the racing, you know, indeed, it was a lot closer than that. Kaiser, McGill, Bithell, and Balance were all right there in the hunt. And we'll show you with our race recap. Don Ackerman grabs the early lead, the first hole shot of the year on the number 7. Soon was the man on the yellow machine. Adam McGill pulling away. Behind him, Taylor Kaiser, Chris Borich, Chris Bithell, Bill Balance. They were battling it out, swapping positions. They were not able to really put a dent in the lead that McGill had built up. But you had to figure that the champ, Chris Borich, had something in mind. And that was, of course, a classic Borich last lap charge. And indeed, on the last lap, he caught McGill, put the pressure on. They had a great duel. Borich was able to grab the lead. It still wasn't over. The Florida kid, Kaiser, followed him through and challenged him all the way to the last turn. But ultimately, Borich was able to hold on for the win. Great racing. We're glad you could watch it with us. For Krista Shaw, I'm Jason Wygant. See you next week.